Okay, we're live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. It is 7:35 p.m., the usual starting time here for these live streams. It's the 12th of January as well. The month of January ticking by, going by very, very quickly indeed. Almost coming up to the second half of January. You wouldn't have believed that a couple of weeks ago, but here we are. On the 12th of January, as I said, looking at some of the main stories that have caught my attention today in the press here in Spain. Some interesting stories, let me tell you that. We'll get straight into the news, and then we'll go into the comment section and then the chat section towards the second half of this evening's live stream. So, first piece of news, Prime Minister Sanchez on the front foot trying to seek allies to counter the Musk and Trump effect. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez is seeking allies in the EU and Latin America to counter the growing influence of the far right, symbolized by the upcoming inauguration of Donald Trump on the 20th of January and Elon Musk's increasingly visible political role. Sanchez, seen as a leading progressive voice in an increasingly conservative world, is positioning himself against these forces. Musk, the world's richest man, has already demonstrated interest in influencing European politics, including supporting Germany's far-right alternative for Deutschland and criticizing the UK's progressive leader Keir Starmer. He also made a discreet but controversial comments about Spain linking immigration to crime in Catalonia on his social media platform X. While Spain currently remains politically stable with a progressive government and far-right party still below 15%, Sanchez acknowledges that broader Western political trends significantly affect Spain's political landscape. So there we go. Prime Minister Sanchez trying to find allies in order to stop or counter, as they say here, the Musk-Trump effect. I think they're calling it Trusk nowadays, the joining of these two individuals, Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk. And as we saw there, Mr. Musk getting involved in European politics. Why? I've got no idea. But he has been very vocal on his platform. I'll say that again, his platform, X, with some of the comments that he has been putting out about the UK political situation, the Catalonian political situation regarding immigration, and other things that the progressive leaders of Europe are not happy with, as we know. So we'll see if Mr. Sanchez can find the allies that he needs to stop the Trusk effect in Europe. Time will tell as of the 20th of January, just around the corner when Mr. Trump takes office. Second piece of news here, and the Partido Popular-led regions are to launch rapid housing plans to expand cities and build massively. The 12 autonomous communities governed by Spain's Partido Popular are preparing to implement expedited housing plans aimed at flooding the market with affordable homes to drive down prices. These plans are part of the Asturias Declaration to be signed by PP leaders and Alberto Núñez Feijóo in Oviedo and are built on three pillars: mass construction, freeing up land, and reducing bureaucracy. The initiative proposes fast-tracking approvals to unlock as much public and private land as possible and building extensively on these sites. It also includes an inventory of privately owned land reserved for protected housing, incentivizing developers to build there. The plan involves a commitment to expand cities by developing new urban land, particularly in areas with high housing demand. By collaborating with municipalities, the PP aims to relax urban planning regulations and accelerate urban development, focusing on areas where housing prices are most strained. This represents a paradigm shift in urban expansion strategies. So the Partido Popular coming up with ideas to fix Spain's housing crisis. As we can see here, they're going to expand cities and build massively, free up land and reduce bureaucracy. Now, we all know what happened the last time this took place, back in the late 1990s, I believe, and we saw the subsequent housing crash. because too many homes were built in Spain for various reasons. And will what the PP proposes here have the same effect? I don't know. We're waiting to see what Mr. Sanchez comes up with for the country as a whole, but the 12 autonomous communities that the Partido Popular is in charge of here in Spain. I mentioned some of them the other day: Madrid, Andalusia, Valencia, Castilla, Leon, Balearic Islands, I think, Galicia, are going to see these effects. Cities getting bigger, mass construction, and also, as we saw here, to fast track bureaucracy, basically, or reduce bureaucracy, which, as we know, can be a bit of a problem when it comes to housing. And they also announced today that they're going to come up with, they're going to start a youth housing scheme. They're going to slash tax on housing from 10 to 4% for first home buyers. So another idea that the PP has come up with. And it will be interesting to see, as I said, what the central government has in its plans when it comes to housing. Time will tell when Mr. Sanchez announces it. So we'll see. Will it be successful or not? I don't know. But it will be happening soon in those autonomous communities controlled by the Partido Popular. Next piece of news here: in Spain's immigration or migrant woes continue, with over 3,100 migrants arriving in the Canaries in 11 days. In the first half of January, more than 3,100 migrants have reached the Canary Islands. On Saturday, 2 boats arrived at El Hierro. The first, spotted by the Guardia Civil around 3:20 a.m., was a cayuco, or wooden boat, carrying 24 people of sub-Saharan origin, including 4 women and a baby. It was escorted by rescue vessels to the port of La Restringa. The second cayuco was located on Friday afternoon by a Cesama 103 plane 176 miles south of Gran Canaria. The Athens vessel was directed to escort the boat until the arrival of Guadalmar Polimnia, I think that is, which rescued 203 migrants, including 13 women and a girl, around 2:30 a.m. After an overnight journey, they disembarked in La Restringa on Saturday morning around 10 a.m. So more and more people continuing to arrive to the Canary Islands, or at the sea, or arriving in the Canary Islands, I should say, by these wooden boats, or in these wooden boats, and the government's plans to try to deter people from making this trip not working, evidently, from what we're seeing here, with 3,000 people already arriving in the Canaries since January began, 11 days, as we saw there. So not sure what's going on regarding political ideas, policies to try to deter this, but obviously not working. And as we know, political parties take advantage of this, and we will see with what those messages coming out of some political parties will be regarding this situation. We've already seen what Mr. Musk is tweeting or Xing on his platform regarding this type of thing. So it's only going to get more and more complicated for the government if they don't stop people coming in. We'll see what happens. The next piece of news here, and a new proposal, which would be good news for people looking to get their driver's license here in Spain, because it will allow learning to drive without attending driving schools in Spain. A new proposal suggests allowing Spaniards to learn to drive without attending authorised driving schools, following models already in place in countries like the UK and Sweden, where independent preparation is permitted, or Belgium and France, where learners can practice with non-professional supervisors. The National Commission for Markets and Competition has submitted a report to the Directorate General for Traffic, the DGT, proposing measures to make driving education more accessible, efficient and flexible. Currently, only authorised driving schools can provide practical training in Spain, But the CNMC recommends introducing options for supervised learning with non-professional tutors. This could potentially give learners the option to prepare independently or arrive at driving schools with prior experience. And all I can say on this is about time, breaking the driving school mafia here in Spain. If this becomes a norm and people will be able to get around perhaps going to driving schools, which, as we know, can be very, very expensive. And basically, there's no way to get your license without signing up for one of these places. And but believe me, as I said, they operate almost without any competition, or among the driving schools, of course, there is competition, but no other way to get your license. So, as I said, hopefully this will occur and it will be easier to get your driver's license in this country, because I can tell you from experience, having gone through the system, that it's very, very rigid and very, very obsolete, the current system. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section. If you disagree with me too, the comment section is the place for you, people that have gone through the driving school system and got their license here in Spain. Now we'll go into the comment section, check out what is happening there. Let's have a look at this first one here from Yanasi. The National Transport Pass is a great idea. It could open up work opportunities between cities, I would guess. And another comment here on the same topic from Gold Geologist. One ticket would be very nice as a tourist. So, yeah, this was a plan that the Transport Minister mentioned the other day. A single transport ticket for Spanish cities, not going to be able to be used, on the fast trains or intercity trains, but when it comes to the public transport in cities here in Spain, a unified ticket. So if you live in Madrid, or if you're visiting Madrid, then you want to go to Barcelona, or you want to go to Malaga, Valencia, the idea would be that with the same ticket, you just hop on public transport and away you go, unlike the current system where you have to try to navigate the different rules and ticket systems according to where you are. And I had this experience a couple of years ago when I went to Vigo, because obviously here in Madrid you have a 10 ride ticket, which is reasonably priced still. And I thought there might be something similar in Vigo, so I tried to get one, but apparently it's not that easy, or they don't have a similar system there, or at least that is what I was told. So it can be confusing when you do to catch the different public transport systems around the country to work out what type of ticket you need. So if they do get a unified ticket, if it ever does happen, remember it's just a proposal from the Transport Minister, so just an idea in his head at the moment, but it will open up work opportunities, we suppose, and it will make the tourist or the life of a tourist a lot more easier as far as travelling on public transport is concerned here in Spain. Similar, I think, the system to what they have in Germany. I think that was what was mentioned the other day. So thanks for the comments there, guys. Another one here from Chris. I've been driving across France and Spain for many years now. I'm always amazed how much easier it is compared to Britain. Keep up the great content, Stuart. Yeah, I put out a driving video the other day. A lot of the comments that we'll see now are related to that, but because it was the comment section was inundated by people's comments. Lots of interesting comments were left there, I can tell you that. But yeah, driving in the UK, I found it to be a little bit complicated with the times that I have driven there. First drove there back in the 1990s, early 1990s. But the one of the times after that I went back, I did find the roads there a little bit complicated, a little bit aggressive too, the driving there. And I thought Spanish drivers were aggressive, but that was my experience in the UK or in parts of England. So complicated, but yeah, this person here saying that easier compared to Britain. Thanks for that. Another one here from someone. I don't mind graffiti on modern parts of the city. It blends fine and some of them are truly pieces of art. But on historical towns and buildings, it's atrocious. Thanks, someone. Yeah, a lot of the taggers, I'm not going to call them graffiti artists because they don't do anything except tag their name. And surprisingly enough, they do sometimes tag historical buildings. Recently I was in a town, can't remember what the name of the town was, but it was in Castilla somewhere, and there was an old church which had been sitting there for probably hundreds of years, if not longer. And I'm going to call them, I was going to call them something else, but some person came along and tagged the back wall of the church. Why would you do that? I've got absolutely no idea, but it can be a blight on the infrastructure in this country, especially some of those historical buildings, as I said. But what we saw the other day, and what someone's referring to here, is a more modern type of graffiti artwork, which is popping up on the sides of buildings around the country, being promoted by local councils as a way to deter, let's say, the taggers, and try and get these graffiti artists to come up with works of art, let's say, to express themselves in a legal way rather than an illegal way, which is what they normally do. So thanks for that. Another one here from Baz. Are there any concessions for tourist vehicles regarding emissions and entry into restricted areas? Good question, Baz. I tried to find some information on the internet, and of course it's going to depend which city you're traveling in Spain with regard to these low emissions areas. For example, the centre of Madrid has a low emissions area, Barcelona as well. I think Bilbao has one as well. Some of the bigger cities in the country have these low emission zones. And in Madrid, it's the responsibility of the driver to go to an office that has been set up, or the council set up an office, and you need to have a vehicle that corresponds with the type of vehicles here and the stickers that they have. So let's say, for example, you've got I think they're like a Euro, don't quote me on the number here, but a Euro something diesel after the year 2006, let's say, like a car that I've got. You get that your equivalent would be the yellow sticker, so you have to go to this office and get that sorted out before you're able to drive into the centre area. Even if you have an electric car, apparently you have to do the same thing. So it's a little bit complicated. You can't just drive in there and then sort it out. You've got to sort this out before. But there is an office, as I said, in the centre of Madrid where you can get this type of thing done, and I'm sure that would be a similar situation in the cities that do have these low emission zones in place. In theory, every city here in Spain with more than 50,000 people has to have a low emission zone, but some of them have been a little bit slow implementing the low emission zones. But the big cities, Madrid, the Barcelonas, etc., have got theirs up and running and have had for some time. But smaller cities, maybe cities of 100,000 people, are lagging when it comes to these low emission zones, but they will be put in place sometime in the future because it's European law, I believe. So they have to do it sometime or another. So thanks, Baz, for that. Another one here from Martin. The good old roundabout dilemma again. I'm sorry to tell you that your advice is incorrect. On a roundabout, you stay, capital letters, in the outside lane, the furthest out from the centre, all the way around. Inner lanes are used for overtaking only. Outer lanes always have priority. Use indicators and it will lessen the likelihood of being broadsided. Thanks, Martin, for your comment there. Lots of people told me that I was wrong with my roundabout technique the other day when I put out that driving here in Spain video. People, like I said, Martin and others were quick to point out that I didn't drive correctly around that roundabout. But I disagree, because I went to the DGT website, the Directorate General of Traffic here in Spain, the people that make the rules, and this is what I found. Okay, so Martin, pay attention. Once inside the roundabout, we must drive in the outer lane whenever it's free, and we will use other lanes to overtake. In roundabouts located within urban areas, we are allowed to use the lane that best suits our destination. Although if we are going to leave the roundabout via the first exits, the most advisable option is to use the outer lane. So I interpret that, and maybe some other people will as well, that if you're driving in an urban area, which is what is stated there, you can use either the inside lane or the outside lane for your destination. However, when you want to get off the roundabout, you have to go into the outside lane. That is mandatory. That is what I understand, okay? So we can even see here with the picture that we have up the top, this blue car here on the right diagram, we can see it comes from the intersection, takes the inside lane, goes around and exits from the outside lane. So that's what I understand. But like I said, people were telling me that I was wrong. And again, I'll accept that if that is the case. But what I understand there is what we just saw. It's very, very complicated. There's contradicting information all over the internet, and nobody, I repeat, nobody, or at least very few people, use roundabouts correctly. The most important thing when using a roundabout here in Spain is that you don't exit from the inside lane. That's how you have accidents. Always try to exit from the outside lane, not the inside lane. And if you can't exit because there's cars blocking your exit, you go around and around and around until you can. That's the rule. So thanks, Martin, for that. But from what we just saw there, in roundabouts located within urban areas, which is where I was the other day, an urban area, quite clear. Max, on the Mijas Costa, they were stopping foreign cars in the summer, checking people's footwear, finding everyone with flip-flops and sliders, basically any shoe without a backless strap. Thanks, Max. But I imagine they were not only stopping foreign cars, they would have been stopping everyone. But you might have been in a foreign car and got stopped and seen a couple of other foreign cars. But I'm sure that the civil guard or the municipal police in their checks and controls were not only stopping foreign cars. Otherwise, that would be some type of discrimination, I think, right? But it is true that you must have adequate footwear on when you are driving your car. You can't have flip-flops because they could get stuck in the pedals. That's the argument. You can't have bare feet either because your feet could slip off. Your sweaty feet could slip off the pedals. So adequate footwear. And of course, close to a beach, the civil guard or the municipal police are going to be doing these checks. Where I live here, where there's no beach for 400 kilometers, you won't be seeing civil guard controlling those type of things. If they pull you over and see that you're wearing flip-flops, maybe. If they pull you over and see that you are in bare feet, maybe they'll give you a fine. But there won't be any specific controls, I don't think. But maybe where Martin was here, Mijas Costa, next to the beach, of course. So thanks, Martin, Max, sorry for that. Thanks for that. Now I'm going to go into the chat section here in just a moment, see what's bubbling away in the chat section. I'm sure the conversation will be lively this evening. Before I get there, I'm going to change the backdrop. This photo was sent in by Rita, who was down from Ireland traveling around Spain in the Galicia area. And this photo here, which I think is San Estevo, I think was the name of the place. Don't quote me on that, but it's a parador in close to Ourense City. And apparently to get to this place, quite hairy on the roads. So thanks for the photo, Rita. Even though the backdrop looks to be a little bit blown out there, or maybe it's fog, I'm not sure. But we can see the parador nestled there amongst the trees. Quite an attractive looking parador. So thanks, Rita, for that. And if anybody has a similar picture that they would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is on the screen now, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free to send your photos through to that address, or any other information that you would like to send my way. I had over the weekend, lots of people have been sending me information, different things that have caught their attention about Spain, and we'll see if we can see if we can mention some of those things on the channel in upcoming videos. The like icon is on the screen too. We're currently sitting at 72 likes. We'll see if we can get up to 73 now. It's just gone up. We'll see if we can get up to a decent tally today. So if you haven't hit the like icon yet, do me a favor. Just below the video, you will find it, the little like icon. And as I said, we'll see if we can get up to a decent tally of likes today. 74 currently. What else? Now, I need to thank people that have supported the channel in recent times. Super thanks option, buying me a coffee, super chat here on YouTube as well. Longer term supporters on Patreon. Your support is greatly appreciated. And also people that have become channel members of this YouTube channel. There's 3 options open now, starting at 99 cents a month. And as I mentioned the other day, a couple of new members have come on board as a result. So thank you very much for that support there. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you like the content, you want to see more. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, but no longer on Twitter. I have removed myself from Twitter because every time I check my phone, I got some type of tweet from Mr. Musk. I got sick of seeing them, so away I went. Now, what else have we got to do now? I have to go into the chat section. Here we go. I think I saw a super chat, so I'll get to that. Let me see if I can find it here from Roland. Super sticker from, Roland. Thanks for that. Apparently it's a dog gifting a large bone, bowing respectfully. I can't see the icon here. I can only see what it tells me that it is. So thanks, Roland, for that. $3.99. Helping to support the channel, of course, is Roland there. Thank you very much. Now, let me scroll up to the top, see what's going on. Andrew, the first person I can see, valued member, supporter of the channel. Good evening from a frozen London southeast. Hope you are well and having a good weekend. Thanks, Andrew. I'm fine. Hope everyone else is as well. Freezing or frozen there in London, and we're getting a cold snap here over the next couple of days. The daytime temperatures, I think, are going to be okay, but the nighttime temperatures are really going to be those sub-zero temperatures, so I've got to get my heavy coat out, I think. Luckily, no snow forecast. Barbara, player Flamenca, 18 degrees there. Cooler tomorrow. There we go. That cold snap that's coming, going to hit most of the country, I believe. Thanks, Barbara. The Jazz Shed from St. Berry Edmunds in the UK. Looking forward to some more breakfast videos now that I'm back in Madrid. Hope you had a good break in Portugal. Happy New Year, and may all your eggs be snot-free. Thanks for that. I haven't got any breakfast videos planned because I've almost exhausted all of the options as far as breakfast is concerned. Breakfasts here are fairly stock standard. There's not a lot of variety. And the places that I did find that had variety, I've already been. So I've got a couple of places left that I can go, but they get a bit busy inside to be filming. So I might wait for the weather to get a little bit warmer so that I can sit outside and do these breakfast videos. But lunch videos, definitely more of those will be coming up as soon as I can find the time for to hit a restaurant at lunchtime. Been a bit busy in recent times. Owls coming in here. A while since I've caught a live stream. Catch up later in the evening. Always catch up later in the evening, but really enjoying the restaurant reviews. Thanks for that, Owls. Like I said, more of those coming up as soon as I hit a restaurant, of course. Sani's in the chat. Good evening, everyone. Hope you've had an enjoyable weekend. Cold in Basingstoke. Goodness, though, it's meant to get milder in the UK this week. I think we're getting that same weather, Sani, the milder weather. High Flyer John, valued member 2, coming in here. Have a great week. All the best, John. Thanks for that. Who else we got here? Who else have we got? Rian also here, coming in from Wales. Looking forward to some sun in a few weeks. Returning to Villa Martin in Alicante. Hope all goes well, and the warmer winter weather is back. Because as I just mentioned, this week a bit of a cold snap. Brad's in the chat. Brad sent me a photo through today. Good evening on this beautiful day. Spring is almost here. Maybe where you are, Brad, not here. A couple of months before we get some spring-like weather, I reckon. Janet, valued member 2, coming in from Oxford, where the temperatures are finally above freezing. Just had a couple of glasses of Bardos Crianza Ribera del Duero brought for us by our son-in-law. Delicious. Thanks for that, Janet. Good to see you enjoying the Spanish vino. Amanda's coming in from Shropshire in the UK too. Erica coming in from Terrassa. Big news. The lift is fixed after 7 weeks. And Erica's dodgy ankle, happy that that mobility of that the lift provides is back in action. Stephen coming in, valued member 2 from a frozen North London. Looking forward to getting back to Torrevieja next weekend, although there is a cold snap headed that way. Exactly. Shouldn't be as bad there. No, yeah, probably not as bad as London, but the cold weather on the coast here, that humidity gets into your bones. Marianne coming in from San Diego. Weather warm and dry. Same conditions as LA, but so far no fires. Same risk though. There is a historic precedent. Yeah, thanks, Marianne. Yeah, luckily in San Diego, not affected like LA has been by those fires. Absolutely tragic scenes, people losing their homes. People, I think 15 was the latest death toll from the fires. I know an Australian man in, I think, Malibu burnt to death in his home. So, yeah, absolute tragedy. But as we know, these fires, if it's not California, it's somewhere here in Spain or Portugal, other European countries. Greece, I think, had bad fires last year. Australia a few years ago had terrible wildfires or bushfires, as we call them. Janet's here, coming in from the province of Granada. Beautiful day there. Thanks for that. Chrissy, also in the chat, had a lovely beef broth on Thursday. Best that Chrissy's ever had. Pork fillets with juicy, tasty chips. There we go, €12. I might have to come down there and do a restaurant video, Chrissy. Sounds good. Mir, 25, June 2025, Spain, here I come. Hope all goes well with that. Tony likes Mump better, the Trump-Musk combination. Trusk or Mump. There we go. I'm sure other people will come up with some ideas. Jonathan coming in from Uruguay. Recently in Spain was Jonathan. Good to see you are well, John. Paradox Parade. Can the EU finally do something and ban X and heavily tax any Tesla coming into Europe? This inherited apartheid profiteer needs to be dealt with. Some strong words there for Mr. Musk. Thanks for that. What else we got going on? Ian, a bit of a rush on at the moment for the golden visa applications after April. Does anyone think the property price might ease a bit around the 500k level? Don't know, but we'll put it out there, Ian. I have heard that there is a rush on at the moment for these visas, people trying to get the last ones that will be available for people looking to move to Spain. So I'll leave that comment open for people there to answer. Howard saying Keir Starmer progressing to extinction, hopefully. So not a Mr. Starmer fan is Howard. He seems to be under a lot of pressure, Mr. Starmer, considering that he hasn't been there for very long. Don't think he'll last as long as old Pedrito Sanchez. The jazz shed. P.S. Sunny side up is the way forward. Not sure what that's. Maybe referring to eggs. Not sure. Pamela coming in from San Juan de los Terreros. Good to see you, Pamela. Again, Andrew questioning Keir Starmer's progressiveness. The man is bringing the UK to its knees. Paradox also saying here, this is a guy that paid gamers to reach top spot in a specific game and pretended it was him that did it. The man is in his 50s. Jesus. Yeah, he does seem to have some childish behaviour. That's what his knockers would say. Antonio coming in here. Hello, Stuart. How do you see the PP plans about building lots of houses? Housing problem is the big issue here in Spain. It's a big problem everywhere, Antonio. I don't know whether the PP's plans will work or whether they get them off the ground. Time will tell. Of course, they have to act as an opposition party, and they do have power to do some things in their 12 autonomous communities that they're currently governing. So we'll see, and if it is a model that the rest of the country can follow or not. I don't think we'll know the result until a few years' time, but ideas have to be put on the table. So Mr. Fayot finally putting something on the table. But will it be a good idea again? Who knows? Who knows? Because we've seen what overhousing did to the country 15 years ago. So we'll have to wait and see. It's a very difficult thing to balance the housing market, I believe. What else we got going on here? Roland, best regards from, where's that? In Neapolitan, is that? Thanks for that. Scary political stuff, at least where Trump and Musk are concerned. Big difference between elected officers and wealthy non-politicians. Yeah. Again, Helen, we don't know what's exactly in store for us here. We'll have to wait and see, but a lot of people worried about the combination. A lot of people optimistic that it won't last long. But again, nobody knows. A lot of political pundits, I think, having with their opinions on this. Stratospherian, good evening. Good evening back to you. I know that bodes well with a PP tax reduction plan for young people only, Philip, that is. I don't think it's for across the board. It's only for first home buyers under a certain age, I think, is the plan. Roland coming in from Minneapolis, cold and windy there. Thanks, Roland. Antonio, Stuart, but the main thing with the immigrants in the Canary Islands is that not all of them are Africans. The mafias from Asia are using also that route. Lots of people from Bangladesh, Afghanistan arriving. Yeah, it could be the case, Antonio. I know that these migration routes controlled by the mafias out there, as you say here, bring people from all over the world, not just Africans. So it is an issue. But of course, again, it's the government's responsibility to try to stop this if they don't want to have political problems in the future. Because as we know, it's an easy target for some political parties, immigration. And with Mr. Musk stirring things up on X, you never know what thoughts people will have. Janet agrees with the driving school monopoly. Yep, it is a monopoly. I might have called it a mafia before, and I'll stand by that, because if you don't go through them, well, you can't not go through them, but even if you decide to, I remember a friend of mine got their license and they decided to go to the driving centre on their own, not with the other members of the driving school. And they reckon that they didn't pass on that day because of that reason. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a monopoly. Mr. J saying here that el tirano de Sanchez no va a hacer nada, solo dice mentiras. So not a Sanchez fan, Mr. J here. The tyrannical Mr. Sanchez not going to do anything. He only lies, according to this comment. Thanks for your opinion. Paul, they are vandals, the graffiti artists, obviously, absolutely. I reckon they're kids a lot of the times that, get some type of a tin of paint in their hands or a Sharpie or whatever, and they go out there and write their tag on the walls of historical buildings that somebody has to clean off. Yeah. What else? Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Renan coming in from Los Angeles. Sunny there today. Hope the fire situation better, Renan. I hope you guys are well too. Andrea coming in from Portugal. Good to see you, Andrea. Let's have a look. What else we got going on here? So Andrea wants me to return to Portugal. We need a Portuguese version of this channel, Portuguese, but I'd like to listen about Spain. I like Spain as well. Thanks, Andrea, for that. I'm not sure that I'm welcome back in Portugal, considering some of the comments that were left on one of the videos that I put out there. A lot of people saying that they don't want foreigners in their country, foreigners out. So, yeah, I'm not sure I will be persona grata, or probably persona non grata. Raymond coming in from Bogota, and a belated thank you for the excellent video on whether moving to Spain in 2025 is still a good idea. Top shelf. Thanks for that, Raymond. That was another one that I put out in recent times. Manuel, hello Stuart. Manuel from Valencia. Did you ever get the photo that I sent you? Was it the right dimensions? Can't remember, Manuel. I get quite a few photos sent through. I'll just check when I finish up today whether I did get your photo, and I think I might have used one the other day. I'm not sure. I think I might have used one of your photos the other day. I'll just check here quickly, Manuel. Give me one moment. Let's have a look. A photo of Montserrat, I think that was one, and Castillo de Xavier. Yeah, so sent through on the 22nd. Yeah, I have got them here. I haven't used them yet, but I will do, Manuel. So thanks for reminding me of those. Thank you very much. So stay tuned. Maybe on Tuesday, maybe on Thursday. Afterglow is like number 74. Paradox likes the picture that we have behind us here now. Stratospherian just became a member. Thank you very much for joining, Stratospherian. Welcome to the membership group. Now, I think over 60 now we are, so it's rolling along nicely, the membership group, the supporters of the channel. Dennis saying, why are Spanish people so racist towards me as an Englishman? Are they, Dennis, are they really racist towards you? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've said this on many an occasion. Dennis, I've been living here in Spain for over 25 years, looking like this. I could easily be confused from somebody from Glasgow, somebody from Dublin. I could be confused for somebody from Leeds. Never had an issue. Never had an issue. So I don't know what the problem is there. I speak English and they always have a sluggish face towards me. Well, that's probably the reason, Dennis. Hay que aprender el español. Aprender el español. Una vez conseguido, me imagino que no tendrás problemas. Pero bueno, hay que empezar. Hay que empezar. Stu, hope you're fine from a freezing Sid Cup. Thanks, Darren, for that. What else? Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Gino coming in with Isabella, I imagine. Back in Toledo after the trip to Valencia. Cooler, but better than Canada. Well, Canada's winters, I don't really, you can compare them with anything here in Spain, I don't think. Maybe the snowstorm that we had a couple of years ago, or a few years ago now, was comparable, but not a lot. There we go. Andrew's saying exactly what I just said. Speak Spanish. It goes a long way when you speak Spanish, I will say. When you're here in Spain and you speak the local language, you can go a long way. If you speak only English, there'll be walls in your way. And you might get people that don't want to speak to you. They might think, well, you're here in Spain, you should be speaking Spanish. Can I go to England or any other part of the United Kingdom and only speak Spanish or French or Portuguese? Don't think so. So probably the same thing, I would say. But maybe we're just being trolled, don't know. Steve, use the outside lane for the first or second exit, then the inner lane until the exit, then move over to the outside to the exit, junction 3, 4. So there we go. Thanks for that regarding roundabouts. Still doesn't make a lot of sense. What else? Let's have a go. Antonio saying here, we Spaniards don't hate people who speak English. Lots of Spaniards can't understand English, but lots of English don't understand Spanish. I don't see any problem. No, there isn't one, Antonio. There is no problem. Thanks for that. What else? Let's have a look. Oh, he's only been here for 5 months, Dennis. So, yeah. But my advice, Dennis, would be to start to speak the language. Let's have a look. What else? Carmen's in the chat as well, but replying to Dennis there. What else? Let's have a look here. Musk is a carnival barker, according to Kevin. What else we got going on here? Dennis also saying Spain is something here. So I don't know what Dennis is going on about. So we might get rid of Dennis. I think Dennis left some quite negative comments on the channel in recent times. I'll check that, and if that is the case, Dennis, I will unban you. But saying all of these things here, there's no wonder. I think you're just being a troll, basically, okay? So we'll say goodbye to you, and then when you change your tune, we might let you back in. What else? Let's have a look here. Yeah, Dennis is the troll that I banned the other day as well. So it's the same person. Why he's here, I've got no idea. So thanks, Dennis, for your input. But I'm sure you'll find a channel that's more open to your point of view. What else? Let's have a look here. Well, that's about it, I think. Taco Head saying here that they bought a house in a tiny pueblo in Castilla y León near Zamora in danger of depopulation. Do you think it was a good choice? Will depopulation stop? I don't think so. I think depopulation has been going on for a long time in that part of the world, and it will continue because a lot of those places don't offer anything for the youth of the country, and the youth of the country are the ones that need jobs, and a lot of those places don't provide the jobs that they want. So I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But anyway, what else? Let's have a look. Yep, Dennis, Brad's already, I've already done that, Brad. Thanks for that anyway. What else we got going on here? Spanish people are the most open, according to Gabrielle here, and genuine people I've met in my life. Their eyes light up when I make an honest effort to speak their language. Exactly. That's the point, right? Make that effort. Doesn't matter if you get it right. Doesn't matter if you get a few things wrong, but make the effort. But Dennis is just trolling us, so don't worry about that. I think that is the case, yeah. You never know where Elon is. He's got very long tentacles that reach out into all of the spheres of the internet. 25 below where Mike is in Vermilon, Canada. That's a little bit chilly. Thankfully, I'm not there. What else we got going on? Let's have a look. And Gabrielle coming in from a cold and snowy Massachusetts there in the United States. Now I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another live stream. Maybe some content coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I've got to think of something interesting that will keep the viewers of the channel watching and hopefully providing some valuable information. So if I come up with something, I'll put out a video. But if not, Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening will be the next live stream. Hope to see you then. Hasta luego, hasta entonces, adios, bye-bye.